Hi everyone, I've got some Bible codes that I would like to share with you on Donald Trump. And I had done all these Bible codes a couple of months ago. I'll show you the list over here. As you can see, it starts from up here and it goes all the way down to about here. So there's quite a few codes that I would like to go over, but I'm just going to try to go over them in the order in which I discovered things. So there's actually two matrices, and I'll show it to you again. This first one is in one matrix, and then all these right here are in another matrix, and then that first one belongs with this matrix right here. But I just want to show them all in the order that I discovered them. So I'm just going to start with the first one. And this one right here, first let me just explain. Like I said, I had just started doing these codes a couple of months ago, and I was just trying to think of things I could search for, and there was a picture of Donald Trump on the side, just like you see here, except it was on the other side. And so I thought of putting in Donald Trump, but I really couldn't think of anything else to put in. The only other word I could think of was rich, and I put that in, and that came up. And then I thought about a Bible code that Chris at Bible Code Theory Research had done, and it was this video right here, and he had done a code on Donald Trump, and in his code it was coming up in Isaiah 50 verses 4 through 5. That's where he found the words Donald and Trump. And he had just made a comment. He was reading these scriptures, and he had read all the way to verse 7, and he had read over here where it said, "I set my face like flint." And he had made a comment about this picture over here of Donald Trump, and he had just said, "Doesn't that picture just say it all?" And so that was the only thing that I could think of when I was doing my Bible code. So let me go back to it. Okay, so I tried putting in the terms face like flint, and sure enough that came up. So I just took that as confirmation that this table was talking about Donald Trump, because it was obviously making the same description in the King James in the codes as it was in the Hebrew text in the codes. So I just took that as a confirmation, and I couldn't really think of anything else. In Chris's Bible code, he had also put in for the U.S., so I also put in run for USA, and that came up as well. But then after that I was pretty much stuck, and I couldn't really think of anything else, and that's why I moved on to the other matrix that I showed you. But I'll show you that one later. I want to just finish going over at least part of this one first, and then I'll just go over the rest of all these terms that come up later. I'm just going to go over the initial one, and then I'll skip to the other matrix, and then go over the rest of the terms in this one at the end. Okay, so over here at the top you can see the word run in the yellow with the letters R-U-N. And over here in the fuchsia, you see the letters USA. And over here in the green, you see the word for. And over here in the light green, it has the word flint, and with the letters F, L, I, N. And then the T actually shares with the T in Trump. And over here in the purplish blue is the word face with the letters F-A-C-E. And over here in the light red is the word Don with the letters D-O-N. And over here in the light blue is the word like with the letters L-I-K-E. And over here in the lavender is the word rich with the letters R-I-C-H. Now this table is coming up in Jeremiah 51, which is all about the destruction of Babylon. And I just want to read the first verse up here at the top where you see the letters USA. And that's Jeremiah 51:25, and it says, "Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Jehovah, which destroyest all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain." And as I said, USA comes right in that scripture right there. And then over here, if you notice, it has the word corner. And over here you have the word stone. And in the scriptures, Jesus is referred to as a cornerstone. And so I'm just going to read you a couple of scriptures. In the King James, it has it as head of the corner. And I'm going to start with this one in Matthew 21:42. And Jesus saith unto them, Did ye never read in the scriptures, the stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner? This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Therefore say I unto you, the kingdom of God shall be taken from you, and given to nation, bringing forth the fruits thereof. And then the other one I'm going to read is in 1 Peter 2:7. And that says, Unto you therefore which believe, he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and a stone of stumbling, and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed. And as I flip back to the table, I noticed the word appoint over here, and right next to it I just happened to notice the word martial. So I thought I would just try to see if martial law comes up, and when I checked it, it came up, as you can see right here, martial and law going down at an angle this way. Also, I just wanted to point out that when I was looking at this earlier, I realized that I didn't really know what the word flint meant. So I looked that up over here in the dictionary, and it says it's a hard type of rock that produces a small piece of burning material called a spark when it is hit by steel, a piece of flint, a piece of metal used for producing a spark. And I thought that was interesting in light of what's been going on in the news, because it seems as though Donald Trump has set off some type of a spark for perhaps a race war. So I just wanted to show you that that comes up as well, because I just checked that earlier. So as you can see, that came up over here, and you can see the word war coming this way at an angle in the fuchsia with the letters W-A-R, and race actually shares the R in the word rich, and it comes over this way with the letters R-A-C-E. The other thing that I wanted to point out in this table is over here, right where it has the word Don. It says, the deputies thereof and all the land. And when I was looking at this, I didn't really know what the word deputies meant. So I looked that word up as well, and I'll show you the definition. It says, a person appointed or authorized to act as a substitute for another or for others. And over here it says a person appointed or elected as assistant to a public official serving as successor in the event of a vacancy. And that may not make a lot of sense now, but I think it'll make even more sense once that you look at the other tables that I've done. And some of the other interesting terms that come up are the terms Jehovah against Babylon. And over here you have Babylon, a desolation. Over here you have the king of Babylon. And over here you have is like a threshing floor. And over here you have the time of harvest shall come. And you can also add for her, and of course this is talking about Babylon. And since what is in this matrix over here seems to be relevant with what's going on today, and since we're beginning to get an understanding of who Babylon is, or who Mystery Babylon is in the scriptures, I think it would be relevant to just read all of these verses. So I'm going to quickly try to go through them. Okay, starting from verse 50, chapter 51, verse 25, it says, Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Jehovah, which destroyest all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith Jehovah. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Minni, and Ashkenaz, appoint a marshal against her cause, the horses to come up as the rough cankerworm, prepare against her the nations, the kings of the Medes, the governors thereof, and all the deputies thereof, and all the land of their dominion. And the land trembleth and is in pain, for the purposes of Jehovah against Babylon do stand, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight, they remain in their strongholds, their might hath failed, they are become as women, her dwelling places are set on fire, her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken on every quarter. And the passages are seized, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. For thus saith Jehovah of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor at the time when it is trodden, yet a little while, and the time of harvest shall come for her. Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon hath devoured me, he hath crushed me, he hath made me an empty vessel, he hath like a monster swallowed me up, he hath filled his maw with my delicacies, he hath cast me out. So as you can see, this entire matrix is actually about blowing the trumpet. And here, let me highlight the whole thing. Blowing the trumpet. And as it turned out, if you look over here, you will see that this matrix actually turned out to be more about the last trump and blowing the trumpet. So I'm going to go back over those terms towards the end of this video, and in the next part I'm going to go to the next matrix, which will be this one right here, and I'll just pick up in part 2.